Hi everyone, I'm so happy and so grateful that you clicked play on this video. And if you clicked play, it definitely means that you want to add healthy habits into your life and you want to upgrade and level up your life. And I'm so happy to be part of your journey. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you guys some behavioral frameworks that really just help shift your life and kind of help add healthy habits that you want to have in your life. I'm currently finishing my studies as a bachelor in behavioral and social sciences. So these frameworks I have got from my courses, and I hope that these frameworks can be of use to you. In order to build habits, it is so important that you understand the methodology that goes behind the habits and kind of how to make it easier for you to add it into your life. So if you're kind of struggling right now by adding in a couple of things that you want, for example, to work out more, eat healthier, I think that these frameworks will be of such use to you, and I hope that this video changes your life a bit. So firstly, I'm going to bring up the 3Bs framework. So what are the 3Bs? Behaviors, barriers, and benefits. In order to build the life that you want, you need to understand that each habit that you want in your life has a behavior behind it. It has a barrier. So what's keeping you from getting this habit? And it also has benefits. So when it comes to the 3B framework, I thought I'd give you guys a really good example that has kind of been of use in my life, and this is working out. So firstly, working out has been something that I do every single day, whether it's by walking or yoga or Pilates or strength training. It's just a way of self care, a way that I nourish my body, take care of it. And in order for me to develop this as a habit, I had to establish my 3Bs. So, firstly, I had to establish that the behavior that I wanted was to work out. And I got very clear on that. And I wrote exactly what kind of behavior I want, whether that was I want to work out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or whether it was, to be specific, I want to do this behavior, so this Pilates class or this strength training class. I got very, very specific. So that was my first B, behavior. Moving on to the next B, I had to establish my own barriers. So I had to see what was keeping me from achieving the first B, which was my behavior, my desired behavior. And so I sat and wrote a list of exactly what was keeping me from working out. Time. My second thing was kind of energy, motivation. My third was actually not really knowing what to do. It was a lack of knowledge. So when I wrote down these 3 barriers, I was able to address each and every single one of them. And I'm going to talk about this in the next framework. But essentially, when you sit down and you establish your barriers, you're able to tackle each and every one, and you're able to kind of incorporate this behavior by really just not giving yourself any other choice. The third B, and this is the most special B, and it's one that I don't think that we talk about enough, which is benefits. So you know that working out is good for you. You know that you'll get your dream body if you work out. You know that you'll feel amazing. But when you really concentrate on benefits and when you really sit and write down your intentions, your desires, when you sit with these benefits, you kind of transform your energy and you kind of guide your journey in that way. So for me, it meant changing the way that I perceived working out. What I mean is that in the past, I thought you work out to have your dream body. However, I transitioned my focus from these kind of very superficial benefits and I started really tackling them from underneath. How I feel when I work out, how my sleep is, how my mental health is. I wrote down each and every single benefit. So whenever I lacked motivation, or even when, I don't know, when I was confused, I was able to understand the benefit and the reason behind wanting to have this behavior in my life. So now I want to talk about the EAST framework. I don't know if you guys have heard about it before, but EAST stands for the following 4 letters. E stands for easy, A stands for attractive, S stands for social, and T stands for timely. So, in order to add this healthy habit into your life, you need to follow the EAST framework, and this is crucial. So, you've already established the behavior you want, the barriers you have, and the benefits that the workout or eating healthy or whatever habit provides. Now you have to apply the second framework, and this is crucial. So, firstly, making the habit easy. So, if your desired habit is working out, for example, you need to make it so easy, so doable. It has to be the most easiest thing ever. So maybe it means finding a gym that is literally 2 minutes away from you. Maybe it means finding a literal yoga mat and placing it in the middle of your room. But you have to make it super easy so that this habit is super, super doable. The next part of the framework is A. So attractive. In order to have this habit in your life, you need to make it incredibly attractive for yourself. So, whether that means buying yourself a new workout set, buying yourself a pretty bowl to keep your fruits in if you want to add in healthy fruits into your diet, or it just means, in general, just creating an aesthetic behind your routine that you want. Making it attractive is so important because it allows you to really incorporate it into your life. Now, social is a fun one because you get to kind of use social proof, have your friends, your family really keep you accountable with your desired behavior, actions, and whatnot. So for me, what that meant was, social wise, I would constantly do workouts with friends. So if I didn't feel like working out one day, of course, that's okay. You have to nurture, take care of yourself. However, when I was working out with friends, even if I didn't have much motivation, it's nice because you have a friend going and you guys can both be like, oh my God, this sucks. Or, oh my God, like, we're really doing this together. We can go get matchas after this. So, making it social is such a good thing to incorporate. The last element of the framework is timely. And this is super, super important. And it goes with the kind of the easy part. If you want to add, for example, working out into your habits, you need to make it timely. It is not realistic to work out 4 hours a day, nor is it realistic for me to work out an hour and a half per day. For me, when I wanted to incorporate working out into my life, and again, this means a lot of different things like, walking and whatnot, I made it timely. So I kind of set myself a minimum time of at least 20, 30 minutes when I got started. When you make it timely, you make it easier for yourself. You kind of give yourself a little framework, you give yourself a little guide, and it really just makes things a lot easier for you, and it makes you accountable because again, time is also a big barrier. And when you deal with the time element of the framework, it changes your life. So just a recap of this video. So take a piece of paper, write this down. Essentially, you're going to find your three B's: the behavior you want, the barriers you have that is keeping you from this behavior, and the benefits that this behavior will add into your life. Then you will move on to the East framework and you will write down things that will make this behavior easy, attractive, social, and timely. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that this video really changed your life and added a little bit of sparkle and magic. I love you. You're worthy. You are beautiful. You're divine. And I hope that you have the most amazing day. And if you're into this kind of content, please subscribe.